The storm fell like broken glass across the ridges of Aravik, slashing through the silence of the highlands. 12-year-old Aryan wandered the forest edge, his boots swallowed by the snow, his breath hanging in the bitter air like a prayer. His heart ached with a loneliness too old for his years. 2 winters ago, the mountain had claimed his father. Just a slip, a howl, and then nothing. His mother had vanished into silence after that, weaving by the fire and staring at shadows. The house felt empty even when it was full of things, full of echoes. Each night, Aryan would press his face to the frost-laced window, eyes searching the tree line for something he couldn't name. Companionship, escape, or maybe just a way to feel like the world hadn't forgotten him. On this day, fate stirred. A cry pierced the wind, a sound so fragile, so full of raw pain, that it pulled him like a thread. He pushed through thickets and snowbanks, branches clawing at his coat until he found it. A lynx cub, small as a house cat, trembling with agony, its leg caught in a cruel steel trap. Their eyes locked. The cub hissed weakly, wild with terror. Aryan's heart clenched, not out of fear, but something deeper, something ancient. He crouched, his voice a trembling whisper. "Easy. I won't hurt you. I swear it." With bleeding fingers, he pried open the trap. The cub fought, but exhaustion won. He wrapped her in his coat, heart thudding like a war drum. The snow swallowed their tracks as he carried her home, whispering the name that would change everything: Miru. The woodshed behind Aryan's cottage became a sanctuary. Each night he snuck food, whispered stories, and watched Miru fight her way back to life. She growled at first, her eyes like fire. But fire can warm too. She tried to limp away once, dragging her wounded leg, but she always returned, drawn by the strange human boy with quiet hands and a voice that never demanded. He gave her cooked meat, rubbed salve in her wound, and waited patiently until she allowed him to sit nearby without baring her teeth. Weeks turned into months. Her leg healed. She grew into a creature of breathtaking grace. Wild, yes, but not unloving. She began to trust, nuzzled his hand, waited for his footsteps, listened when he wept. "You're not a pet," he told her one night, fingers buried in her thick fur. "You're my only friend." In that shed, they built something sacred, a bond neither beast nor human could name, a love not of taming, but of seeing. But the world outside was colder. The village feared creatures like Miru. They would never understand. So Aryan kept her a secret, and secrets, no matter how pure, always come at a cost. Snow fell harder that year. The village, already wary of predators, buzzed with tension. Chickens had gone missing. A wolf had been sighted near the East Ridge, and with the fear came rumors, dark ones. A hunter was passing through the region, Corven, a man with no allegiance but blood. He didn't just kill for food, he hunted for trophies, for eyes like Miru's, for pelts that told stories. It was said he once shot a tiger just to watch it fall. Aryan saw him once in the village tavern, tall, gaunt, with eyes that never blinked. He felt cold just standing near him. When Aryan found fresh boot prints near the shed, his chest tightened. Then he saw the smear of blood in the snow. A rabbit? Maybe, but too close, too deliberate. He knelt before Miru, panic in his breath. "You can't stay, just for now. Please, Miru, go deeper into the forest. Hide, I'll come find you." She stared at him, golden eyes fierce with refusal. She paced the edges of the shed, growling low. But something in his voice broke her. She brushed her head against his cheek one last time, and vanished. That night, Aryan disappeared. Miru returned at dawn to find the shed empty. No scent, no warmth, just silence. She prowled the village's edge, unseen, her coat blending into the shadows. She saw their faces, fearful, dismissive, unaware. But Aryan's scent was fading, weak, distant. A choice rose in her wild heart, one stronger than fear. She followed him, through freezing rivers, across ravines, up cliffs slick with ice. Her paws bled, her breath rasped, but she carried on, driven by a memory, a bond, a love that did not need words. She slept beneath trees that groaned with snow, ate only what she could catch, fought off a fox that dared come too close to the scarf she had taken from Aryan's room, her last link to him. Then near the river she found it, blood, and his scarf tangled on a branch. She picked it up in her jaws, her heart thunderous. Aryan was hurt, alone, and the hunter was near. Aryan awoke to pain. His head pounded, his leg throbbed. Snow clung to his lashes. He was trapped beneath a fallen pine, his body curled against the cold. He had run from Corven. He remembered the glint of the rifle, the echo of footsteps. Then, darkness. His voice cracked into the frost. "Miru, don't come for me." But she already was. She found him as dusk bled across the sky. His voice cracked when he saw her. "You're real. You came back." She pressed against him, her warmth chasing away the cold. For that night, they existed only in each other's presence. No pain, no fear, just heartbeats in the snow. But Miru knew he wouldn't last, not alone. At first light, she ran for help. Corven tracked her easily. He was close now, closer than he'd ever been. The paw prints told him she was tired, desperate. He raised his rifle, but fate had grown weary of him. A low growl sounded behind him. A bear, stirred too early by the false spring, towered from the shadows. Corven turned too late. The forest roared. His scream was swallowed by the snow. The mountain had claimed another. Miru walked into the village at dawn, blood on her paws, Aryan's scarf in her mouth. People screamed, threw stones. One struck her shoulder, but she did not stop. She dropped the scarf before Aryan's mother and let out a single heart-wrenching cry. Then she turned and disappeared. The villagers followed her. They found Aryan, alive, frozen but breathing, wrapped in the hollow of a tree, as if the forest itself had cradled him. Aryan healed slowly. He told his story to those who would listen, about Miru, about the hunter, about a love born of silence, pain, and unbreakable trust. The village changed after that. Not quickly, but they remembered. Miru never returned to the woodshed. She didn't need to. She waited at the forest's edge every morning, watching from the trees. Until one day she didn't. Aryan grew old, but he never stopped listening for her. Even when his legs grew weak and the world moved too fast, he would look to the woods and smile, because once a wild heart had loved him, and that kind of love never dies. They say you can still hear her sometimes, deep in the pines, soft footfalls, a golden glint through the mist. They call her a ghost. But Aryan once said, just before the end, she wasn't haunting me. She was waiting. For what? For the boy who once saved her, and the boy who would always come home. Years passed, seasons folded like pages in a forgotten book. Children in the village grew up hearing the tale of the wild lynx who saved a boy and vanished into legend. But not all legends end. Some become blood. One quiet autumn morning, as leaves drifted like golden whispers across the ground, a little girl named Ellen, Aryan's granddaughter, wandered too far into the forest. She had her grandfather's spirit, curious, kind, unafraid. She followed the call of a stream, then the rustle of leaves. When she slipped and scraped her knee, she cried, but softly, her voice trembled. That's when she saw it. A lynx, not Miru, but her kin, a young female, eyes just as golden, watching, not afraid. The creature stepped forward, silent as mist. Then, astonishingly, she licked Ellen's wound once gently before melting back into the trees. When Ellen returned home, she held a single lynx whisker in her hand. That night, Aryan's daughter wept, not out of fear, but out of memory. Miru had returned, not as herself, but as a promise that love born in the wild never vanishes. It waits, it watches, it protects, even long after the boy who saved it has become a whisper in the pines. If you enjoy my stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means a lot. Feel free to leave your suggestions in the comments to help me improve and make the stories even better.